Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be talking about Roan Steele and the game that he had against Carlton. We'll dissect every moment and talk about how he could find himself in contention for a spot in the finals. Watching this back, it was just work class type of game from Roan Steele in that wing position. I feel like when his opposition made the decision to go into a contest or XYZ, I feel like Roan Steele made the only other decision you could make, and sometimes that is just holding a width and space within a contest. That worked out for him this game. In pretty much every sequence, his decision making, his kicking ability was highlighted. Yeah, is he finals bound? Well, it's a small sample size, but it's a great building block to start with. And if he is afforded another opportunity next week, which you have to imagine, you bring players into the team this late into the year. You don't want to mess about with, all right, yeah, he played very well, but I kind of like this. I don't know if you're afforded that luxury so much later in the year. Yes, Ed Allen's been good. I'm not saying Ed Allen's not going to be back in the side, but ultimately I feel like that's his position that he's fighting for. It's between Roan Steele and Ed Allen at this point. They offer very different qualities to each other. So what does the coaching group think they need for games, for extended periods? Like Ed Allen's point of difference is his height. The running ability is there, obviously. But I feel like as Ed Allen grows into his game more and more, he's going to be an aerial threat. Much like if you guys have watched Daniel Curtin at Adelaide, he's really becoming this versatile wingman who runs all day but gets back and gets forward. Think Dempsey as well, who can roll forward and take those marks in the goal square. This is something Ed Allen can become. Does that get put on hold? Like that development at AFL level, is that potentially a hold? And because of what Roan Steele has done and put his best foot forward in his first game. We'll talk about all the intricacies of what I liked, and yeah, I guess all we can say from, Sunday today or till Sunday through to next Friday, we'll see, depending on availability. Even if Ed Allen is available, because of the injuries and illnesses and potential players being managed, is there a place where, Roan Steele and Ed Allen are playing in the same team as well? But we can save that for the Predictor 23 and moving the magnets. Let's get into it. So, very first sequence we want to talk about here. This is Roan Steele here. Blake Acres is his oppositional wingman in this situation. He's sort of just marking this short kick here, which you can't see, but that's Bruzzy. And then Docherty's pushed up here, but he is an on-baller, or he's either an on-baller or he's playing as a very, very high halfback and he's been caught out of position in transition. So we'll see here. Let's press play. So Rowan just working his way. You can see here Blake Acres is trailing. Docherty's going to get front and square into this contest, and Roan Steele eventually decides to hold his position on the outside, and that's been our game pretty much all year. We might lose in the contest initially, but it's what we do on the outside with our ball use that has made us arguably the most efficient side going inside 50. So Sam Docherty's going in, doesn't really have much of an impact. The disappointing thing for Carlton here is perhaps, I'd like to see the whole spectacle of what's happened here, but what's disappointing is Roan Steele gets on the back of this and Blake Acres is barely in frame, and he has to be his opposing player. And this is early in the game, relatively early in the game. So if you're looking at the contrast of two teams of where they're at right now, it's little moments like this. It's footy. It's very marginal these days, isn't it? Like it's one step here, one step there. Did you put the gas on early enough, or was it too late? And did you spot this player? I've spent a lot of time on this scene, but I think it's just important to highlight every little minute thing here. And we're not done here, right? You got this beautiful kick going inside 50. Elliott takes that 9 times out of 10. Let me mute that as well. he takes that 9 times out of 10. So that's something. That kick going inside 50 wasn't a fluke. We saw some really good kicking across the duration of the game from Roan Steele. That's something Ed Allen doesn't have. I don't think he would ever get to the ability that Roan Steele could possibly possess as he plays more AFL footy. This was a really good perseverance mode, just persistence inside forward 50. Maybe Roan Steele here is playing deep. So he comes here off the forward flank. Can you see that? Yep, cool, brilliant. Front and center, just plays his role and just keeps bobbling it forward, and Jamie Elliott gets on the end of that. That's just persistence, and that's just the embodiment of the Collingwood Football Club at this point, isn't it? This is another interesting thing, contrast between Carlton and Collingwood. I might say that a couple times in this video, but we've got here, if I make this a bit smaller, there you go. So you can see Steele, Roan Steele, just here, playing as that +1, quite high up the ground. We're in our forward 50 here, and I'm not sure. I'm personally not sure why Boydie from Carlton is a few meters off him. I would like to think that there's someone loose on our forward 50 from our side. You'd like to think Carlton would be manning up here, but Jordan Boyd comes into the frame in a moment, doesn't he? That's not Boyd, Cowan or whoever this is, Fogarty, right? Fogarty, the high half forward role, maybe needs to come up and play that defensive role as a forward, which is what Lachie Schultz does so well. It's what Bo McCreary does so well. Bobby Hill. These are the little things. Let's see. He gets the ground ball, feeds it out, and there we go. Roan Steele on the wing, just giving us something to work with. Does what I like here is just not really. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's taking a bounce, drawing in this player here. Is that Chera? The kick is a little bit off. Just a little bit off, especially Elliott on Wiedering, but I don't mind it. It's actually not the worst kick in the world. It's just, unfortunately, it was Wiedering on Elliott, and Wiedering sort of got into Elliott's jumping space from behind. Nice little effort there from Bruzzy. Roan Steele feeds it to Pez, and they go inside 50 there. Clean gather here on the boundary. If he fumbles that goes over. Gives a handball to Sullivan, and that's an overlapping run. Roan Steele gets it on the wing here, and just Quain was just quicker to react. This isn't necessarily Motlop being slack, but this is just, we've got the ball, we're in attack mode, there's this massive space here that needs to be fulfilled, and then what's going to happen here is Olin's going to have to make a decision. Does he go, or does he stay with a very dangerous Jamie Elliott? So he delays this. Once he sees it, doesn't wait. You can see the hesitancy here. It sort of creates a decision that Carlton need to make defensively. Hot in the contest. How about this for a kick out? Like, this is just off, but that's a really nice kick off one step. Gather after the second take there. Nice little kick going on his left foot. I don't mind that. For me, yes, it didn't work out, but the execution was almost there. Imagine if he gets 10, 15, 20 games under his belt at AFL level. Different story, I think. Steele just outworking his opposition in transition. Nice little kick going inside 50. Just doesn't hesitate. I mean, if Jamie Elliott is that open, you're giving it to him every day of the week. And this is, we're highlighting some team things as well a little bit more, which is what I want to do, because the full picture isn't there if we just talk about one player in his reviews. But this is how Collingwood find ways to transition with ease, and it's just the ability to find that extra hand pass in the back half to release the players all across the field, provide width, and this is the first thing. As soon as Roan Steele realises we're a sniff, he's going to get wide and provide that width to get the ball out. So Titch does what he does best. We'll do an analysis on him in the next video. Bruzzy feeds to Josh, and then we'll bring it back just a couple frames back, because Steele's here as that wingman there, defensive side. Lord is it defensive side? Yes, it is. So this Lord is taking a bit more of a defensive position in a forward 50 stoppage. He's just providing width straight away. He knows he's a sniff here. Gets that hand pass out. He's there. And that's why you don't see us bomb it out of our D50 so much. And you see the teams that struggle in the bottom 8 of the league. It's because they don't have that composure, that skill execution and awareness sometimes to work it out with patience and not panic. And finds Tom Mitchell. Mate, Tom Mitchell was unreal, wasn't he, in his first game back? He ran the game out very well. Another hand pass to keep the ball rolling. Good effort by Darcy Moore there. Second effort. First fumble, cleans it up, gives Perryman a handball receive. Nice little intercept from Jack Crisp. Now Carlton have to make a decision to come up. So Ollie Hollins has come up here. He's putting ball pressure on Roan Steele. This is just an unbelievable decision. He'll see this space here. Pick your poison. I mean, you can get this kick going on, or you can see this hand being put up. Does it go to him? It does. Yep. These are the things I'm loving about Roan Steele. So here, like I said, again, this is the decision of going or not going. And can you make an impact on the contest? And if you don't, this is what happens. So his opposition here, 45, decides to go in where there's already 2 players plus him makes 3 in this one little scenario here. A little square, because why not? If this comes out, which it really shouldn't when there's this many Carlton players in this contest, guess who gets released? Roan Steele. Let's see. Just works out. Handball. And somewhat works out. Nice little knock on there. Not too sure what happens after the fact, but you get the point, right? That could have ended a lot worse for Carlton in that sequence. So we've got, again, the matchup is Cooper Lord. A lot of +1 at the stoppages for Collingwood. I'll be honest, the midfield thing or the stoppages and the centre bounce stuff isn't really something I'm overtly adept with in the understanding of it all. But just taking notice in this game, maybe having that +1 against these really good contested sides in stoppages as much as possible is the way to finding that baseline where we break even in the contest and clearance. In saying that, we still didn't win the clearance battle, but the contested battle was something I think we ended up with a 20-25 odd differential with the contest. And while we may have not won that first clearance, those players in those stoppages and the +1s typically will roll over to the next contest, and if they don't win the clearance, then they're there for that next post-clearance contested possession. So this goes right down the throat of Patrick Lipinski. Handball out to Roan Steele. It's just, guys, how many times have I said this? Lord has a decision here to make. Can you see it? I might have to move this over again so you can see. There we go. So Lord here has a decision. He's on Roan Steele, but because we've got that +1 and Lipinski gets the ball, Lord has to make a decision to go and apply pressure. He doesn't get there quick enough. Lipinski is quick enough to dish off the handball. Roan Steele is out on his own. Gets the footy here. I think gives this to Dacos. Yes. Roan Steele. Giving width. Akers was trying to mark both players, splitting the difference. A little bit of patience, and then as soon as he sees this option, he doesn't hesitate, keeps the ball rolling. This is late in the fourth quarter. Tom Mitchell doing a lot of good work here. Good contest. Really good follow-up by Brody Myercheck. Jamie Elliott comes steamrolling through. Clean gather. Takes the hit from Ollie Hollins. Feeds it out to Nick. Nick gets it to Crisp. Cleans up his fumble. Roan Steele recycles. And then I'm pretty sure Jamie Elliott had a shot from there. So 20 odd touches from Roan Steele. Some really positive looking attacks with the ball. Isn't just a guy who will settle for a simple kick at times, but in saying that, as the winger, he can play that role where he is finding that connecting piece in the build-up. But it's nice to see that if he does see that kick in the corridor or a nice opportunity going inside 50, he will take it. That's one game. Does he make the side next week? There's every chance. And if he does, it's his spot to lose. The preface is with these young players who have come in and have little AFL experience. The moment they have a bad game or a bad game and a half, they will get dropped for someone who has the experience that you can rely on because we're so close to the final series. It's a really awkward period to flirt with selection, but just with the injuries and illnesses and players being managed, our hand is being forced. We're being stretched with our selection, particularly over the last month or so. And the what's the word? The shining light in all of this is, with all these injuries and illnesses, is players like Tom Mitchell gets another look in, and now it's his spot to lose. And then Roan Steele, wouldn't have seen him this year, comes out of nowhere, out of thin air, being drafted in the mid-season period. And now we're talking, can Roan Steele play in the final series? So very intriguing. Guys, let me know if you like how this video is a little bit different to the other analysis, in the way that the other analysis, it was purely just focusing on the individual player. But now I even want to go ahead and highlight what Brody Myercheck does before Jamie Elliott comes steamrolling through and then feeding at the hand pass to Roan Steele. So a few moments that precede that, and then also highlighting maybe what the opposition could have done better in each situation. But you see a lot of those little moments where players make a decision to go in or stay out, and that heavily dictates what happens thereafter. So let me know in the comment section, and until we do the Tom Mitchell analysis, we'll see you guys next time. Go Pies.